The other day I was out taking these photos, and in this video you're gonna get to follow me while I took them, and also gonna talk about a new flash that I'm really excited about. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. So one of my favorite flashes for macro photography has always been the one on the right, the Meike MK-300. It had some issues though, so I decided to get the newest version of this flash, which is the MK-320 from the same manufacturer, Micael. And this is basically an updated version. It even has like a LED light. I like this type of flash because it is small, compact, and it has good battery time, and it's still definitely powerful enough to do macro photography. So for me who like a lightweight rig, it is perfect. I used my normal diffuser, this on lens diffuser, just because it was simple. I didn't have time to build a new one. And I went out in a beautiful summer day. It was so perfect weather for macro photography. It was like 20 degrees outside. There were tons of insects everywhere, as you're gonna see now in this video. It was a really lovely macro walk that lasted for like 1.5 hours. So one thing I always do when I go out is I take a test shot of something, just to see that the light is good, that the diffuser does what it's supposed to, and so on. So then when I encounter insects, I don't have to worry about that. I know that I will get good exposures. So that's something I can really recommend. So if you watched my last video, I was using the very small Fujifilm flash there. And I wasn't very happy with it. It cost a lot of money, but it didn't deliver enough strength, and the battery life was really bad. So I decided to get the new Meike MK-320 because I liked the predecessor a lot, and also this flash is very cheap. It cost me around $60, and you could probably maybe find it even cheaper if you look on eBay or Amazon, I'm not sure. Anyway, a problem I had with the old version of this flash, the MK-300, was that it went to sleep like all the time, and when I was taking a new photo it didn't wake up by itself, so I missed many shots because it had went to sleep and I forgot to turn it on again. With this version, the MK-320, it wakes up automatically when I press the shutter after it being asleep, so that's really great. And maybe my problems with the old flash was because I adapted it from Canon to Sony, so I'm not entirely sure it was the flash's fault. On this day, however, there were insects everywhere. It was so perfect. They were even crawling on me, on my hands, on my clothes, like everywhere. So for someone who has been really struggling to find insects in the last few months, today was the day when everything kind of exploded. And one of the most frustrating things you can encounter is when there are a lot of great insects to photograph and the flash doesn't fire on every shot. And this has happened to me all the time before, like with all the flashes I've had. It has always been like this. I take a few shots and then it goes black and it goes black, and then I take another shot and then it fires and then it goes black for 2 shots, and like maybe I've just been using really bad flashes before, I don't know. But the MK-320 from Meike, it fired every time. I was out for 1.5 hours, I took 550 photos, and the flash never disappointed. It always fired when it was supposed to. So that is, yeah, that was kind of the reason I wanted this video to be about the flash, because I really love it. And I think that the Meike MK-320 and me will have a beautiful relationship during this summer. I really love this flash. And let me just also point out, in case there would be any doubts, that I never ever recommend anything that I don't really like. I would never lie about such a thing. Meike didn't pay me to say this. I bought the flash for my own money, and yeah, I just think it's really good and I want to recommend it because so many of you are asking me like every day, what flash should I get for macro photography? And usually I just reply, any flash will do, because I think actually most flashes are good enough to do macro photography. But as I've been alluding to so far in this video, the MK-320 it is something special. I've tried a few flashes and this is by far the best one so far for macro photography. Guys, this is my website and I built it in less than 30 minutes using a tool called Squarespace, and they are the sponsors of this video. You can very easily build your own website, no matter if it's a portfolio website or any other website basically. You can build anything with Squarespace. They have beautiful templates that you can also adjust yourself, and it's so easy to edit pages, to add pages, to rearrange stuff, to add photos if you're building a portfolio like I am. It's just great. Go to squarespace.com and try it for free, and when you're ready to really go for it, use my code Widell for a 10% discount. So my experience so far with using a Fujifilm setup is I'm starting to like it more and more. In the beginning I really liked that it is so lightweight and small, and it feels like it's much easier to aim and to get the shot. And the only thing I'm not loving completely is that the dynamic range is a little bit less than on my full frame Sony a7 III, and it shows when I try to lift shadows. My style of macro photography is I usually lift the shadows a lot. I don't want any completely black parts of the photo normally. Like, I don't like too contrasty images, that is not my style. And it is a bit harder on the Fujifilm X-T3 to lift the shadows as much as I want, but I'm adjusting to it, and I think I will actually try to have a little bit more strength on my flash. Maybe that can help. Actually, the thing is, with a smaller camera and a smaller lens and everything, I actually have the flash closer to the subject, which means that the light doesn't get as diffused, and that could very well maybe be the reason why I get darker shadows. I don't know. So, what settings did I use for the photos you're seeing in this video? Mostly I was shooting at 1/60th of a second because I wanted to get a bit of color in the background, as you can see here. And the flash was at strength 1/16th. That is usually a good level on these kinds of flashes. I shot at ISO 200, which is the base ISO of this camera. And I was shooting at an aperture of f11 and f8 mostly. This will give some diffraction at high magnifications, but when you're posting on Instagram you can kind of get away with it, and it's worth it to get deeper depth of field. And yeah, we are starting to round up this video, I think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like macro photography. I post new videos every week. And don't forget to sign up for my free photography newsletter over at mwroll.com. See you there, and see you in my next video. Over and out. Bye.